Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Chris and Ant Show.
Dun, 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 dun.
What's up, Chris?
Hey, what's going on, Ant?
Not much, brother. We have a bunch of awesome topics for you today. Starting off, what we are going to talk about is first the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. What's going on with the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict? We're going to talk about that. Following that, we're going to talk about the Rams and the 49ers. Is the OBJ curse a real thing? I don't know, but last night might have proved it. We're gonna talk about that. Also, DaniLeigh assaults DaBaby on IG Live, kind of a little bit. We're gonna talk about that. What else are we talking about today, Chris?
Well, DaniLeigh didn't assault DaBaby as much as the 49ers did the Rams.
Oh, okay.
Well, besides the point, Morgan Wallen going on tour after his big fiasco.
Oof.
Probably, maybe a little racist, Morgan.
Maybe a little.
Halo Infinite. Halo's got a new game coming out. I know everybody loved Halo. At least I loved it when I was
loved
younger.
it.
Put a lot of minutes, a lot of hours into Halo, so that's pretty exciting.
Did we just play that all the time?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, we played
put
Halo a lot.
A lot. I don't want
For
to tell
sure.
you how many hours, but it was a lot.
Whew.
And Kamala Harris. Do Americans like the vice president?
It's looking a little shaky. I don't know.
I'll let you go first, bro.
We're going to see what happens. But up first, we got the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. And this one is pretty interesting here because I checked out what the prosecutor Thomas Binger said, and he said that is what provokes this entire incident, okay? When the defendant provokes this incident, he loses the right to self-defense. You cannot claim self-defense against a danger you create. Okay, so does that mean that if I start, fighting someone, like I literally start a fight, and then that guy starts running at me with a knife, that since I started the fight that I cannot defend myself or claim self-defense if I end up killing him?
You should be stabbed for starting a fight, apparently.
If that's all the prosecution has going for him, saying statements like that against Kyle Rittenhouse, I honestly think that they are absolutely getting smashed in this whole debacle here. And I think they're probably just reaching for the moon. That's what I think. I honestly, after, paying attention to it a lot, watching the videos and looking into it a little bit, I honestly do feel like it was self-defense. I mean, how would Kyle Rittenhouse started that entire incident? By pointing the gun at somebody that was about to assault him? Did he start the riots or the protest? Did he call on all those people to be gathered around his area and then to violently come at him? I don't think he started all of that, so I don't understand where the prosecution is coming from with that.
Right.
The guy ran at him, said, "I'm going to kill you." If he did get close enough, would he have took Rittenhouse AR and shot him with it? That's a possibility. I mean,
isn't that a little provoking? Telling someone that you're going to kill them when you're chasing them down in a
so in that aspect, can that guy that was chasing him down and used those words, can he now claim self-defense? I don't think so. I think so. They have a lot of loopholes in that statement there. And I mean, so the first guy chases him. After he shot the first guy, he runs away. So, I mean, he's running away from the scene as people chase him. So, I mean, he's not provoking that either. He's running away.
Said he was trying to get to the cops.
Right, he's trying to get to the cops. So how is that provoking anything? And then he gets hit with a skateboard. I don't think he hit himself with the skateboard. So I don't know how he provoked that one. And then he ended up shooting that guy. And the third guy pulled a gun. So that's self-defense all day in America. So, I mean, I think that honestly at this point that they're just trying to reach for the moon and say whatever they think they can say. A lot of it, they're stances seemed very speculative. So I think Rittenhouse is getting off with self-defense, me personally, and I think it's just, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I would agree, and I think that he should get away with self-defense. I mean, if people are attacking you with weapons, with skateboards, trying to steal your gun from you. I mean, one thing in the military we were taught is you never let someone get your gun because then you never know what's going to happen, right? So, I mean, these guys are progressing forward at him in a violent manner, telling him they're going to kill him, trying to reach for his rifle. He gave him a lot of warnings. I mean, realistically,
Right.
he gave plenty of warnings. He seemed like he was kind of cool, calm, and collected. Realistically, it's almost like you would want if people were trained to handle things that way. It might have been, Kyle. That was a pretty good way of handling it.
If that would have been a cop, they probably would have praised him for how.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is in terms of being in a messed up situation, he handled it pretty well. And now, because of it, he's facing, possibly 5 felony charges. They just dropped a misdemeanor weapons charge off of him because, the gun was essentially too long. So, it didn't fall under somebody underage having the weapon or something like that.
So they're just trying to throw the complete book
The
at
judge
him.
threw the misdemeanor out, said you can't charge him with this. If the felony sticks, he's going to serve a mandatory life sentence. If the harshest one were to stick, that's what he would get. So, to me, like you said, it's clear-cut case of self-defense. If you see it any other way, I hope the jury sees it that way, because the way that I look at this is, if Kyle was my son, and I'm not going to say that Kyle probably should not have been there with the gun in the first place. That's what I'd first say. But since he was, looking at the situation, if that was my son in that situation and 3 different people tried to attack him,
Right.
and then he, killed him in self-defense, I'd be very salty if he then served a life sentence because of it. Because realistically, if he went there to kill protesters, like I want to say the prosecution tried to say he was just going to shoot somebody.
Yeah, they were trying to, again, they were very speculative with everything.
Like,
a lot of the things they said were,
he could have shot a lot of people there.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people that could have got shot that night, and the only people that did happened to be 3 different people that advanced on him in a violent manner.
Right.
They have a rap sheet to prove that they believe in assault. We'll just say that, and other things too, which are even worse than assault. And then got hit with weapons, got hit with skateboards. The other guy pointed a pistol at him. I mean, we all know that that's self-defense. Someone points a gun at you, you're allowed to shoot them.
That's all day self-defense in America, pretty
So
much,
to
no
me,
matter
I
what
mean,
state you're in.
It's clear cut and dry. I mean, obviously we have to go through a trial. It is America. People were murdered. Shit happened. Shit went down.
Right.
But, it's not a coincidence that the 3 people attacking him all kind of have a rap sheet. It's not a coincidence that the only 3 people that got injured, 2 died, 1 injured, were people that were attacking him on video.
Like advancing
clearly
at
attacking him in a violent manner
Yeah.
that you probably shouldn't be doing to somebody with an AR-15. I'm not someone that's going to run at somebody with an AR-15. So to me, clear cut and dry self-defense. I hope the jury sees it that way, because Kyle doesn't deserve prison time for defending himself in that manner, even though he probably shouldn't have been there.
I mean, I definitely agree. I hope the jury sees it that way. And you know what? If you want to give him, I guess, probation or something, I guess that's all right, or maybe a little slap on the wrist. But I definitely don't. A full life sentence for that, for defend? No, there's no way.
I could get some smaller ones or something, but I don't think he deserves anything.
So I agree with that. So next up, the Rams. They got smashed, slaughtered, banged, smash mouth football. The 49ers punched them in the mouth last night.
Yeah, they clapped them out.
And maybe it's the OBJ curse, but I'm not going with the OBJ curse, Chris, because I mean, he had 2 catches. He was thrown to the ball 3 times, so he didn't even see very much PT.
Well, I will say the one ball that was intercepted was targeted at him. I'll say that.
Well, one of the
I like OBJ, but I will just be honest with that.
I didn't see that one. I don't think I seen that interception, or maybe I missed it, but I did see one of the interceptions that literally went right through the receiver's hands.
Yeah.
And should have been completely caught. So, I mean, I don't put that interception on Stafford. The 49ers defense, the line was just rushing the heck out of Stafford. The cornerbacks were disrupting almost every pass. I mean, the Rams receivers, like, they could not catch the ball. They had 5 drops last night. I mean, that's got to be frustrating for Stafford. Like I said, OBJ caught the ball 2 out of the 3 times he was thrown to, 18 yards. obviously not a stellar performance or anything you're going to write home about, but you definitely cannot blame this loss on OBJ because honestly, that 49ers defense was honestly just lights out last night. It was just lights out. And 49ers have actually beat the Rams the last 5 times that they've played since 2019. So I think it also has to do a little bit with they have their card. You know, they did enough tape on them. They know what they run. They probably know the packages very well. They know how to beat the Rams. So I think that has to go into it as well.
Yeah, I mean, last night the Rams probably played the worst football that they've played in maybe the last 15 games.
It was bad.
It was some rough football. I mean, no one could catch a ball. Stafford didn't look the greatest, and he still looked good, though, because like you said, some of them interceptions probably should have been caught. A lot of drop balls.
A ton of drop balls.
And, you know, it doesn't really, you know, I think with OBJ, you know, OBJ is still an elite player, right?
Oh,
so,
absolutely.
you know, obviously adding him to your roster is always going to fare better for you than worse, at least I would think, as long as you can manage, you know, the fact that he likes to run his own routes.
Yeah.
As long as you can get on the same page with him and get that chemistry on your offense,
Yep.
he definitely adds a weapon that you have to be willing to respect. So, you know, I don't think it makes them worse to pick up OBJ. They still have the best offense in the league. I mean, if you look at quarterback here, Matt Stafford has the most yards in the league. Tom Brady does average more yards a game. So does Derek Carr because they're, you know, down 1 game. Not
Right.
Stafford's 10, they're 9 games. But
Gotcha.
still, Stafford, most yards in the league. In the rushing, their running back is number 10 in the league at 593 yards. So they have a top 10 rusher. The leading receiver in the league, Cooper Kupp, 1,100 receiving yards. So they have the top receiver, the top quarterback, top 10 running back.
Yeah.
Just picked up OBJ. I mean, you're going to have these times in the NFL where you lose because it's any given Sunday in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. That's a
You
thing.
know, that's what makes it so much fun watching professional football, in my opinion, as opposed to, you know, we were just talking about this,
Yeah,
the
we
difference
were.
with college football and
Yep.
NFL is not every team in college football is going to beat the Buckeyes.
No.
There's some teams that can, and there's other teams that won't. Maybe in 50 years they will.
Yeah.
In the
I mean,
NFL, any team can win on any given Sunday. So
yep.
you're looking at the best of the best out there. And that's basically what happened. You know, the 49ers, like you said, had their number. I think a lot of those drop balls can be accounted for because of how hard the 49ers were hitting them.
Yeah, they
You
were
know,
smashing
those
them.
over the middle routes they were running, those between the number routes that the Rams kept dropping. The 49ers were delivering some spank downs as soon as the Rams touched the ball. So, I mean, they didn't want to get hit, and I think
Yeah.
that was a reason for a lot of those drop balls. So the 49ers just played real physical football. They were in their face. The receivers were getting touched as soon as they got the ball. And the 49ers, I think it was part of their strategy is they didn't even care if they got the flag a couple times because
It seemed that way.
I think they were okay with getting a couple of them flags to be able to play that smash mouth
Yeah,
football.
it really did seem that way for sure.
And I think that really opened up the NFL's eyes on, you know, how do we beat the Rams? You got to, you know, be more physical than them. You got to disrupt their receivers and get them scared to catch the ball. Because if you just let them do whatever they're going to do, that offense can score on you at any moment. So,
Yeah.
you know, I think it was just a case of the 49ers played a better game yesterday. Their defense looked great. You know, maybe that segues into the 49ers turning their season around because Jimmy G looked pretty decent last night.
He did
The
look.
defense looked good.
Garoppolo looked, pretty impressive last night.
Yeah.
At one point, he was like 100%, like 10
Yeah,
for
he was
10
looking
or
pretty
something.
nice. He's looking better than Baker Mayfield. I
mean,
know that's for sure.
Very efficient.
And
That's
I'm
for
just
sure.
saying that if they keep playing that kind of football, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the 49ers by the end of the year. But I'm not really alert. You know, I'm not scared if I'm the Rams. I think it's
Right.
a good a good wake-up call on, hey, what do we need to work on? What do we need to figure out before we get into the playoffs? So this might actually help them in the long run.
Right.
Because that, you don't want to figure that out in the playoffs.
Right. You don't want to
So-
figure out that you if you get smash mouth defense played against you that you're just going to fall apart.
Right, exactly. So, you know, I think it's going to be a good thing for the Rams. You know, the OBJ addition I think is a good thing. I'm not alarmed if I'm the Rams. I'm just actually maybe even thankful that you taught me something we didn't know. So
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm not really alarmed. I mean, and I honestly think the OBJ addition is really going to ramp up that offense even more. Like you were saying, it's already electrifying, and then you added OBJ as the what is he, like the third or fourth option?
yeah, something
That's
like that.
ridiculous to even think about. So that offense is going to be high firing, and like you said, any given Sunday, any team can lose. So I mean, I'm not taking anything away from the 49ers because, like I said, their defense last night was just stellar. So
Right, it was a great game.
yeah, great game.
Well, it was a great game if you like defense and
I loved
and like
watching
teams getting smashed.
I loved watching the 49ers play defense last night. I am not going to lie.
I enjoyed it.
It was fantastic.
They beat up the Rams like DaniLeigh beat up DaBaby.
Ooh, my goodness. Shots fired. What do you think about the whole DaniLeigh thing, Chris? What do you think about it?
You know, I'm not a big drama queen, right? So, I was looking into this. I'm like trying to find the video, of DaniLeigh assaulting DaBaby.
Right.
And I didn't really find much. Maybe some verbal abuse there. Maybe she slapped him or something, or slapped his hand or the camera or something. Or maybe there's a video I didn't see. That could be true too because, he went on IG Live saying that he wanted to protect himself because she was trying to trap him. He wasn't going to let a black man go down because of this trap-a-hoe type thing.
Yeah, I mean, they're trapping him all over the place.
I can appreciate that. You know what I mean? So what I'm going to say is the videos I found, it didn't seem like she assaulted him much. But
Right.
I also don't know what goes on behind closed doors. I'm not with them all the time. She very well could have assaulted him. And, I think it comes back to if she did, then she deserves the charges, right? Because guys, a lot of the time, they get the short end of the stick with the whole rape thing, with the whole assault thing. Sometimes girls have been known to just claim things that aren't true, and simply because they're a girl, they kind of get believed and stuff like that. So, I'm definitely not for assaulting anybody, a guy or a girl, but I think that if DaBaby has proper grounds, he called the police, he filed a report, he's doing everything a girl would do. I mean, there's probably been women out there that got assault charges on their baby daddy instead of DaBaby.
Right.
For less
That's
things.
funny.
So if that happened, I don't know. That's all what I'm saying. If DaBaby's got some rights on the assault, press the charges. I do think though, if I'm DaBaby and I'm trying to pull my street cred and all the things I rap about, not sure how it looks pressing charges on a female.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that's kind of true. But I did look into it a little bit. So the Charlotte Police Department confirmed that there was 2 incidents involving DaBaby and Danielle Curiel, which is who DaniLeigh is Danielle Curiel. And and she claims that the reason it all started was because DaBaby just wants to come in her with no responsibility, and she wanted to take a Plan B pill. So things popped off, I guess, or something like that.
Okay.
I haven't seen it, but DaniLeigh was served with a criminal summons for simple assault. So what that means is DaBaby went down. Probably not DaBaby. I guess it was probably his lawyer. They filed something with the court and explained it, and then the court said, "All right, well, we're gonna put a summons out to get her." Now I looked it up. The difference between a summons and a warrant is they're pretty much the same thing. Besides, a summons is given to people that they don't think are like a threat before they make the ruling. So, and then a warrant is like, we need this guy in jail before we see him for him to answer for the alleged crimes.
Okay.
So obviously the judge thought it was not as serious, so she didn't probably beat him with a bat or anything crazy.
Right.
But there was obviously something there that the judge would say, okay, that's grounds for it. So, I mean, she probably did do something. Like you said, I did see the videos, though. It didn't seem too crazy. I mean, verbal abuse, maybe. I didn't see him touch him at all in the videos.
She's taking but she's saying that he assaulted her from reckless spraying.
Yeah, I guess that is what she's saying.
Like drive-by.
Yeah, drive-by, reckless spraying, assault. Yes.
Okay, well,
I guess, well,
okay,
maybe in that.
The plot thickens.
The plot thickens. But, I mean, I don't know. I guess if she's actually hitting DaBaby, I agree with it. Go on IG Live, so you don't get hit or whatever. And then he also, one thing, though, he did say he doesn't want any charges pressed on her. He just wanted her removed from the facility. So I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. On that whole note, I think I don't know.
Yeah.
Kind of up in there about it.
Yeah. Well, Morgan Wallen's going on tour now, and some people think that he probably shouldn't be going on tour, right? Because he said the N-word. You know, he got caught it on video in a pretty aggressive manner. It's not like a playing N-word. It's not like when you call your white friend.
I don't think. I just. That's not really a play word. That's never a play word. Like, you can never just play with that word. Like,
no, like if you call your, like I call my white friends crackers sometimes as a joke.
right.
You know, sometimes they get mad. Other times they think it's a joke. But that wasn't no joking manner. Morgan Wallen, it seemed pretty violent, seemed pretty racist when he said it. And because of that, his music got taken off of, you know, all sorts of different things. His record label, I think, paused him for a little bit.
My goodness.
He got removed from streaming platforms.
Which, I mean, I kind of agree with.
You know, as well as he probably should be.
Yep.
And because, right, racism is stupid. You know, you're out here yelling dumb shit that you shouldn't be saying, and there's repercussions for it.
Yeah, especially if you're a celebrity and you have that type of a platform in which, you know, you're just using this word all nonchalant, like it's just, you know, saying Kleenex or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, like, when you're that big of a platform, like, you just can't do that.
Yeah, I don't even use the word regard, you know.
Never.
I don't use the word, right? So, you know, I definitely understand why he was canceled, all that stuff. People got mad.
Yeah.
But now here he is going on tour, and maybe his music's coming back up on streaming platforms and stuff, possibly. I'm not sure on that end. I don't listen to country music. I'm sure his music is probably bad.
I don't know. Well, I mean,
if you like country, maybe it's good, but I don't like it. So I'm just saying, you know, teach their own. But so he's going on tour, and I'm sitting here wondering, like, is this gonna matter? Right? He's a country music singer.
Is he gonna get jumped?
Is his tour going to be affected? I don't know if he's gonna get jumped.
Is he gonna get beat up?
Is he gonna have? I think he's gonna have full stadiums. I don't think this is gonna affect him. I think he's gonna have sellout shows. I don't think his fan base is really gonna care all that much. You know, just like when white people say cracker and no one cares, you know, I think that's what's going to happen is, you know, they're going to be like, whatever, we're going to go see them, and they're going to support them. So I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens.
I think it's definitely going to be affected because I guarantee you he has African-American listeners that probably took offense to it.
Yeah.
That may have went to a concert before and not now. That has to be a thing. So I think it will be affected. I think you are probably right, though. I mean, he did apologize. He did come out and publicly say he was wrong, that he would do better. And we know we are in this cancel culture, you know, time right now. So he definitely got his canceled. But just like DaBaby came back with the LGBTQ AIDS, you know, whole fiasco, and just like all these people that, you know, run into something like this, they usually come back after it. What it really is going to depend on is how he moves on forward. So if another video surfaces where he's slanging around the word, it's going to be GG. But, I mean, if he shows, you know, progress and, you know, maybe donates to some right things and does some good things in the communities and such, I think he'll be able to get over it. But I think in the short term, it definitely affected him, and it's a terrible look for just as a human. From a human standpoint, it's a terrible look.
Well, I mean, he's got a bunch of coverage on that, not the good coverage either, because no one wants to be seen as a racist, which it's pretty easy to be seen as in today's day and age. You can say one sentence and all of a sudden you're racist.
And that's one thing too, like people, I don't know, people claim people to be, that's not something to lightly accuse somebody over, you know?
I mean, that's true.
So like there's a difference between a racist and somebody that just says a racial slur, you know, and you know, but I'm not saying it's okay to say racial slurs, but I'm just saying that people be throwing around accusations right now, like pretty ridiculously. Kind of like the, what is it? Portnoy, El Presidente. He's going through
El Presidente.
He's going through his sexual allegation scandals right now. They're calling him a rapist and all this. I don't know if you know about that, but he's been going on video talking about how it's ridiculous that they're throwing out these serious allegations for him, and he's been going to bat that everything was consensual and, you know, all blase blah, and that's what people do. Like you just said, they throw out the craziest accusations before they actually even know the truth.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, instead of Morgan Wallen, we got Halo's coming out with a new game.
Halo Infinite.
That's pretty exciting. What are you thinking about Halo, bro?
That is exciting because obviously we used to play Halo for 2-on-2 with the multi-screen. We used to play it for hours. We used to play the multiplayer. I mean, we played the heck out of Halo. So I'm pretty excited for the Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
And I'm also excited that it's going to be on Steam. So I think I'm going to download that on Steam. It's a free multiplayer, which they released the free multiplayer yesterday, November 15th.
Are they doing a Warzone kind of thing? Battle Royale kind of thing,
actually didn't look into it that far, but I'm not sure how the multiplayer works.
Okay.
But they are going to release the rest of the game, like the co-op single campaign and all that type jazz. They're going to release that, the full game, December 8th, so next month. And they'll probably patch in some new things. You know how the new games are. They'll patch it in as it comes. Some of the people were upset that it wasn't going to be released with the multiplayer co-op and the map builder for the multiplayer. But like I said, it's only like a couple months out. So people are going to wait. And I think it's awesome that they released the free multiplayer earlier so that people can enjoy the game and get ready for the game before it is released. I think that's a pretty smart move.
I want to work some of them bugs out too, I'd have to think.
Yeah, and that's going to help them. So I'm excited for Halo Infinite, and I think I'm definitely going to download that on Steam. What are you thinking about it, bro?
I mean, I think it's a big deal, right? People loved Halo when we were younger. Like we said, we put a ton of hours into it. And I think that it's going to probably do pretty close to the same thing. Like you said, set to release December 8th. It's one of them epic games. If you go back in time history, like you could probably put it up there with GoldenEye, 007.
Yeah, I mean that was a staple.
Like Halo, and then Call of Duty.
Yep.
Call of Duty still being around, and now you have shooters. Like PUBG followed a little bit there. Apex Legends.
Yeah, and that's a new one, but that one's going to be around for a while. Apex is
and
really
Apex,
popular.
I want to say, is one of the more popular shooters right now.
I think it might be the most,
if not the most popular shooter right now. And I feel like Halo's probably going to have some of them same feelings as Apex, because Apex isn't as realistic as something like a PUBG or maybe even a Call of Duty, you would say. Where Apex Legends is a little bit more like Halo used to be, where, Halo, if you've never played, you could like quadruple, triple jump,
right,
and get from one place to another. Or, you'd have like portals and stuff you could use and things like that. So I feel like it's a little bit closer to the gameplay of something like Apex Legends.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see if they do put out a battle royale to try and get some of that market share of gamers out there, because that's a big... People love battle royales, and
especially I mean, it just revolutionized the shooter game.
It's real exciting. It's so much. There's so much more to dying than like a multiplayer. Because once you die, you lose, right? So 100 people in a game, you got 1% chance to win. It's much more exciting, much more on the line, and that's why that battle royale, I think, has taken over. But I'll be interested to see if they put out some kind of battle royale with Halo, and it's got kind of an Apex Legends shooter feel with the old Halo kind of nostalgia built in. I mean, it might get some players.
Yeah, it's definitely going to get some players. Halo has a huge fan base, and they have been waiting for it to come out with a new version. I think it was originally called Halo 6, and then they changed it to Halo Infinite.
Okay.
So I mean, they've been waiting for this forever. So, I mean, it's going to be a big release, and I'm excited. I am excited, like you just said, to see if they actually do put a battle royale in there, because if they put a battle royale in there and they do it right, man, that's going to be fun. That's going to be a fun game. That's going to be real fun, and I'm excited to play it for sure.
I bet you the approval rating on Halo is higher than Kamala Harris and Joe Biden combined.
It might be. Yeah, Kamala Harris right now, she is having actually, Joe Biden is too. They are having a big trouble in getting people to like them, in the Time Out article I read, which was the 12th of this month, Kamala Harris's approval rating was just 28% on a USA Today's poll. 28%.
If you get that grade in school, you fail.
Oh, that's a power. That's not even a fail. That's like
D or an F?
That's a F. That's a power F. That's like You ain't coming back from a 28%. But that's actually even lower than Dick Cheney's approval rate when he was in, which he was previously known as the least liked vice president. So her approval rating on that poll, the USA Today's poll, was lower than Dick Cheney's. I mean, people are really not liking what they're doing in the White House right now.
Right.
A lot of people are saying that her approval rating is so low because it's tied to Joe Biden's approval rating, which, I mean, makes sense. That makes sense.
Well, yeah, VP
and
president.
Sure. But Joe Biden isn't doing much, but making prices go high, and he's not really he's not talking. His public appearances aren't great. I mean, his just everything going on. I mean, the mandates and everything. I mean, everything he's doing, just people are not liking it. So Kamala Harris' approve rating is going down, and I mean, I approve of that message because I don't like what they're doing, and they need to have one term and get out, in my opinion. What do you think, bro?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think it just goes to show you that, Americans right now, they're sick of the inflation. They're sick of skyrocketing prices. Gas, everything else is going through the roof. Our economy is, right on the edge of probably imploding or exploding. I don't know which one. And then, we have a workforce that's not really put together like it should have been or like it could be, like, it was when things were going good for America. There's just a bunch of stuff. Vaccine mandates going across the board. So I think you're seeing a big backlash of people right now like, wow, we probably shouldn't have voted this pair in. We really need to do what we can to show that we're not very excited about what's going on, that you need to make change because it's still some good time before the next presidential election. It's not like these two are going anywhere anytime soon.
Which is very unfortunate.
So I mean, you voted for them, and they're there to stay for, I think, 3 years or something like that, or whatever it is.
4 years, but how long have they been in?
They've been in for a year, so I think it's 3 left, somewhere around there.
Seems like in a
2024, I believe, might be the next ticket. Ooh. So, they're still going to be here for a minute. So I think that's the people, American people saying, hey, we don't approve of what you're doing. You guys need to change this stuff up because if you keep doing this, you're definitely not going to make that next ticket when you run for re-election.
Yeah, well,
and hopefully I want to see DeSantis kind of run on the Republican side. That's probably for another talk. But, like you were saying, USA Today, they did a Suffolk University poll, and they asked their approval rate. And I said, do you approve of Biden, or do you approve or disapprove of the job Joe Biden is doing? 60% disapprove of what he's doing. And then they say, do you disapprove or approve the job Kamala's doing? 51% disapprove.
So more people are hating on Biden than Kamala, too.
People are just not happy with the ticket. I think
they don't like
rightfully
either
so.
one of them.
Like we said, the inflation is high.
I hate all the mandates
workforce
and
is
all
high. The mandates are insane.
The mandates, and nobody wants to work right now. They're just giving money out like it's nonchalant, but nobody works right now apparently.
Yeah, so
everything is, nobody can get workers, so everything's backed up, and it's like I thought, Biden was talking about how many jobs he was going to produce, but where are those at?
No, I'm with you. So, I disapprove of Kamala. I disapproved of them before they got into the White House, but they're here, so let's make the most of it. Let's try to make a change. Let's get these vaccine mandates out of here. Let's get these mask mandates out of here. Let's go back to the America pre-COVID, before all this stuff messed everything up. Let's go back to a working supply chain. Let's go back to a good workforce, and let's get the ball rolling here.
So if you create a bunch of jobs, but then nobody wants to work them, or nobody will work them, which seems to be happening right now in America. I don't know where we got so freaking lazy.
People will work when they stop giving free money. I think that they're close, or they have stopped giving away free money.
People lazy right now.
It should catch up here soon, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of jobs are actually offering more money than they were before
Way more.
COVID.
Way
so
more.
It should make people happy once they actually get back to the workforce. So I guess we just need to get more people working again and see what happens. But Americans aren't happy with Kamala and Joe Biden, so hopefully they turn it around, because at the end of the day, I want to see America thrive regardless of who the president is.
That's true. True statement. So hopefully they get it turned around. But I think that's the last topic we have for today, Chris. So we are done with today's show. What do you think, bro?
Yeah, we're done. I would just say make sure you go like our Facebook page, Chris and Ant. Make sure you hop over to YouTube, Chris and Ant Show. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. That way you can see the videos that we got coming out.
Yep.
And, share it for us. So, show us some love. Drop some comments. I know we got some haters out there.
Yeah, that's all right. Like the videos, comment, subscribe.
Hey, I love haters. Bring them on, baby.
Bring them on, baby. But until next time, we'll see you later, y'all.
Peace.